All right, it is 7:51 now, and I don't know. Why don't you check your wallet? I think that'd be a good idea because it's time to bring on Drew. He's coming in with his take on faith in finance this morning. Drew Blazsik is in studio with us right now, and we're going to talk currency this morning, right, Drew?
Yes. Good morning. How's it going?
Good morning, Drew. How are you, sir?
Good. You guys have a good 4th of July?
Yeah,
fabulous.
Not bad.
Absolutely fabulous.
How about you? You were kind of under the weather last week.
Yeah, I got stung by a bunch of wasps
last week.
My
goodness.
And then I was getting a bunch of reactions from it, so it wasn't
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But yesterday we had 21 kids in our cul-de-sac letting off fireworks.
Oh, nice.
So it was fun.
So you got up this morning and swept the roof?
Yeah. It was pretty messy outside when I got up. But yeah, so I thought about, hey, since the 4th of July, why don't we talk a little history about our currency and let's talk about fiat currency. This is the history of our money. So there's some interesting facts about it. First off, what is fiat currency? I kind of want to define it a couple things. Fiat value, it derives its value by decree or backed by not backed by any physical commodity. So like currency typically would be backed by gold, corn, beaver skin, it didn't matter, but it had to have been backed by something, not fiat. Legal tender. It was recognized as an official means of payment, typically for taxes. That's an important one. It's irredeemable, not exchangeable for any specific commodity. Government issued, had to been approved by the legislative branch. Treasury printing. So that's fiat currency. And it means that typically a bank would give you, let's say, some kind of bill of credit and say, oh yeah, you can come in and get your gold. Not fiat. Fiat means it just found its decree by what they said.
Oh, okay. So they just declare it, therefore that's a fiat.
Yeah, it's almost like how we, like kind of like playing God, like how God decrees something and he can create something out of nothing, and that's how we kind of do our money. Yeah. So this is interesting. Did you guys know this? That America created fiat currency. No. That there was actually an example in the 1200s of China doing something similar, but this is how it came about. Okay. So it happened in Massachusetts in 1690. British was at war with France, and the colonial government in Massachusetts launched an expedition against the French-held Quebec. So despite that they didn't have enough gold or silver to pay the soldiers, what they thought was the spoils of that they're going to use to support the soldiers. And it went miserably wrong, and they did not have enough. So fearing the potential for a mutiny among the troops due to the financial uncertainty of paying them, the government of Massachusetts took a bold step in 1690. They fired up the printing press, and they introduced a novel form of currency called a bill of credit. This was the means by which they compensated the soldiers. So they said, hey, this isn't worth anything, but we're going to say it is. That was the first form. So, and this is what it says on the actual bill. It said the indented bill of 20 shillings due from Massachusetts colony by the possessor shall be in the value equal to money. So it's not considered money, but they said it shall be equal to money. So then the question is, what gives it value? And the answer to that question is that you can use that to pay taxes.
Oh, wow.
So a couple interesting things. So what you had going on back then was you had this bill of credit that wasn't worth anything, but you could use it for taxes. But then you had a Spanish dollar, which was currency back then. You had these other forms of money going around. Have you guys ever heard of Grisham's Law?
No.
So
it doesn't have to do with lawyers in Memphis, does it?
No.
Yeah, right.
So Grisham's Law states this. The statement that bad money drives out good money suggests that when you have both fiat currency and gold and silver floating out there, that when you have one form of bad money, which is fiat, because you could print it and make it devalued, it drives out all the good money, so circulation therefore does not have gold or silver anymore because people hoard it. And if you had both of those, you had gold, and if you had that fiat currency, what are you going to spend on your taxes? You want to get rid of the fiat, the piece of paper that's kind of deteriorating in your hands. So that was the history of it. And then all the states started to pick up their own bills of credit. And what's interesting too is like there's certain states that did a better job that held its value compared to the other one. So then the exchange rate between the states were very, like New York did a horrible job. Massachusetts actually did a pretty good job. North Carolina, so different states all had their different values in that. So that was the history of it. And then it started to become more, and that's not reserve banking, but this is the beginning of fiat, and then we start taking it on from there.
Interesting. Kind of reminds me of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, kind of. But crypto is unlike fiat. Fiat you can print. Crypto is set. You cannot print anymore. So it's actually fixed.
Huh.
Which is interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting take. I didn't know that about money.
Yeah. So, and that's the problem with fiat. You can keep on printing it until it just devalues.
Nicely done. It all started because of a failed war, or at
expedition,
least a failed military expedition
in 1690.
And crazy.
Gotta figure out a way to pay the taxes. Yeah,
that was a little counting your chickens before they're hatched, I think. So.
Drew Blazsik, thank you so much.
No problem.
We'll be right back here on Morning Offering.